Hello everybody again. As we come together today, as normal, I have lit a candle. If you want to do one in your classroom, for those of you at school or at home, of course asking the permission of your parents, do that. If not, just sit and enjoy and listen. We've done a couple of stories from the Rhyming Bible. I'm going to tell you another story from there today. And when we've done it before, you've joined in with some actions. Now today's story is called The Dark and Damp and Deep, and it's the story of Daniel in the lion's den. If you've seen the one on David, you'd have seen my England football lion have a showing before, and we're going to have this again, and it's going to talk about the lions that growl and roar and leap. Now, depending on where you are and depending if you join in or not, you may want to growl and roar and leap when I say it. So if you wish to join in, please do. If you just want to sit and listen, that's okay too. So let's go. The dark and damp and deep. Daniel helped the mighty king with any problem he might bring. He gave advice on everything the king would set before him. But Daniel had some enemies, overwhelmed with jealousy, who made an evil plan to see if they could trap and kill him. The den was dark and damp and deep. If you want to join in, here it's coming. The lions growled and roared and leaped. But Daniel got a good night's sleep, for God was in there with him. Let's make a law to plainly say that to the king we all must pray. And then when Daniel disobeys, our chance will come to catch him. For anyone who breaks the law will end up in the lion's paws and crushed beneath the lion's jaws. And that will surely end him. Are you ready if you want to join in? The den was dark and damp and deep. The lion growled and roared and leaped. But Daniel got a good night's sleep, for God was in there with him. So off they went to see the king, and he agreed to everything. He made them proud to think they'd bring their sacred prayers before him. But then when Daniel disobeyed and bowed his head to God and prayed, the king was sad and so dismayed, for he would have to kill him. The den was dark and damp and deep. The lions growled and roared and leaped. But Daniel got a good night's sleep, for God was in there with him. So in the den poor Daniel dropped. The lions roared and licked their chops. And then quite suddenly they stopped as someone came to save him. It was an angel, bright and white, who gave the lions such a fright. He shut their mouths, he shut them tight, while Daniel sat and watched him. The den was dark and damp and deep. The lions growled and roared and leaped. But Daniel got a good night's sleep, for God was in there with him. And when the king called down next day, Daniel answered back to say that God had answered when he prayed and found a way to save him. The king was thrilled, and so he said, "Bring Daniel up, he is not dead." drop down his enemies instead, and let the lions eat them. The den was dark and damp and deep. The lions growled and roared and leaped. But Daniel got a good night's sleep, for God was in there with him. And for those of you that heard the story of David, and you may have watched that before or may watch that in the future, again it's a story of our fears. Daniel had obeyed God and had done the right thing, and for doing the right thing, he got thrown into a den of lions. But God was with him and God saved him. And we're not going to be thrown into a den of lions. Well, I hope not anyway. But we do face some fears. We do face some difficult situations. And my hope and my prayer for you is in the difficult situations that we all face, that you face as pupils, that the teachers face, that your parents, that your carers face. We're facing really difficult times. My prayer and my hope for you is that God will be there with you. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.